Hey guys, if you're looking for new Metroidvania games to play, you've come to the right place. Without wasting any time, let's start the list with Crowsworn, a Metroidvania action RPG developed by Studio Pixel Punk, inspired by classic games of the genre like Castlevania and Dark Souls. The game is set in a dark and mysterious world, full of dangers and secrets to be discovered. The gameplay focuses on challenging combat, exploration of an interconnected map, and a deep character progression system. The game's art is pixel art, with a detailed and atmospheric visual style that contributes to immersion in the plot. The story of Crowsworn revolves around a warrior known as the Crow, who seeks revenge and answers about the dark past that plagues her world. During her journey, she will encounter various characters, some allies and others enemies, each with their own motivations and secrets. The plot is rich in lore and mystery, with dialogues and events that gradually reveal the history of the world and the events that led to the current situation. The narrative is told through dialogues, environmental descriptions, and collectible items. Silksong is the highly anticipated sequel to the acclaimed platform and action game, Hollow Knight. Developed by Team Cherry, the game puts the player in the role of Hornet, the princess protector of Hallownest, in a new adventure in a mysterious and dangerous kingdom known as Farloom. Unlike the original game, which focused on the Silent Knight, Silksong features Hornet as the protagonist, exploring her unique abilities and a more acrobatic fighting style. The gameplay remains faithful to the 2D platform style of its predecessor, with a focus on challenging combat and exploration of an interconnected world. However, Silksong introduces new game mechanics, including an expanded set of acrobatic movements for Hornet, new silk-based abilities, and the ability to create lethal tools. The game promises a significantly larger number of enemies, more than 150, compared to the first game, ensuring an even more extensive and challenging experience. The side quest system has also been improved, with a diary to track progress. Sur Abandon, developed and published by RRPG22, is a Metroidvania RPG with an open world that promises a rich experience in exploration, dynamic combat, and character progression. The game stands out for its mix of genres, combining the freedom of an open world with utility-based exploration and guided non-linearity, characteristics of Metroidvanias. Players will embark on an adventure to complete missions, face epic bosses, discover hidden treasures, and enhance their hero through a system of classes, equipment, and talents. The gameplay focuses on a dynamic combat system that requires strategy and quick reflexes. In addition, the game incorporates traditional RPG elements such as gaining experience and levels, allocating talent points to customize the hero, and the ability to equip weapons and armor adapted to the player's playstyle. A day and night system is implemented, influencing the appearance of more powerful monsters during the night, adding an extra layer of challenge and immersion. Blighted is a new game from Drinkbox Studios, known for titles like Guacamelee and Nobody Saves the World, announced during the Summer Game Fest 2025. It is a Metroidvania action RPG set in a psychedelic world with a Western theme, where players explore a universe distorted by the Blight, a force that alters reality. The story revolves around an ancestral ritual corrupted by a villain named Sorcisto, who consumes brains to gain power, destroying a village and its memory trees, whose fruits preserved knowledge from generations. As the sole survivor, the player embarks on a mission to recover the memories of their people before the Blight itself consumes them. The gameplay combines non-linear exploration, intense combat, and a dynamic difficulty system based on the Blight, which modifies enemies, the player, and the world itself, creating adaptive challenges. Players can absorb memories from defeated bosses, consuming their brains to unlock new abilities and open alternative paths, deepening the connection with the Blight.
Should you fall, pray the vultures consume you before the Blight does.
Akatori is a promising action-adventure game in the Metroidvania style, developed by Codewakers and published by Hypotrain Digital. A prologue called Akatori Chapter 1 has already been released on April 19, 2024, available on PC via Steam. The game has been highly anticipated by fans of the genre, promising a rich experience in exploration, combat, and an engaging narrative. At the heart of Akatori is the young protagonist Meiko, a monk who embarks on an epic journey to save her world from destruction. She is accompanied by a mysterious red bird that uniquely can transform into a staff. This staff is the centerpiece of Meiko's combat and exploration, serving as a weapon for melee and ranged attacks, as well as a tool for navigation and platforming. The main plot involves Meiko discovering herself, building friendships, facing formidable enemies, and unraveling secrets of ancient gods. Akatori's gameplay stands out for its dynamic combat system and dimension-switching mechanics. Mako can switch between two parallel dimensions, which not only adds depth to the exploration, revealing previously unreachable passages and secrets, but also impacts combat. The Scarlet Engagement is the highly anticipated new title in the Bloodstained franchise, known for being a spiritual successor to the classic Castlevania games. Developed by Artplay and published by 505 Games, this 2.5D side-scrolling action RPG promises to further deepen the Bloodstained universe, exploring an era prior to the events of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. The story unfolds with the appearance of a mysterious floating castle, controlled by the fearsome Demon Lord Elias, who terrorizes the population with his demonic forces. Faced with numerous failed attempts by the kingdom and the church to contain this threat, two new heroes emerge to face the evil. Leonard Brandon, a young and fearless fighter from the Black Wolves clan of the church, and Alexander Keidler, a knight of the White Deer of the kingdom and the sole survivor of a previous expedition. Together, Leo and Alex embark on a journey to defeat Elias and liberate the tormented kingdom. The game introduces an innovative companion system, allowing players to simultaneously control both Leo and Alex. This mechanic is fundamental to overcoming enemies and traps, opening new strategic possibilities during combat and exploration.
With me! Cross
Reaper! Tonight, we start our mission!
Unwoven Dream is the sequel to the acclaimed platform and action game Timespinner. Developed by Lunar Ray Games, the game promises to expand the already established universe, introducing new characters, scenarios, and game mechanics, while maintaining the essence of the original title. The story takes place after the events of the first game, with the protagonist Aurea returning in a new adventure to save her son and prevent the collapse of reality. In this new chapter, Aurea, a retired war heroine, finds herself confronted with the Unwoven Dream, a catastrophic threat that endangers all of reality. Her son flees to prove himself as the hero destined to prevent the apocalypse, leading Aurea to embark on a journey to save him. Exploration will be a key element, with Aurea traveling through various interconnected environments, from mysterious forests to the depths of the sea and the ethereal realm of dreams. The pixel art graphic style, inspired by classic games of the 90s, returns with an enhanced aesthetic. The gameplay will maintain the focus on exploration, action, and platforming, with Aurea using her magical powers to overcome challenges and enemies. Bushiden is a 2D action and platform game set in a cyberpunk future, where the player controls a cyborg ninja in search of his missing sister. The story revolves around the resurgence of Gao, a villain with a cybernetic army, and the protagonist's journey to defeat him. The game promises an experience that combines the frenetic speed of titles like Strider with the Metroidvania exploration of games like Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. Bushiden's gameplay focuses on fast and fluid combat, with the ninja using a variety of weapons and cybernetic abilities to face his enemies. As the player progresses through the adventure, they can collect cybernetic upgrades, expanding combat options, and allowing access to new areas. Exploration is a key element, with the game world full of secrets and hidden paths to be discovered. Bushiden's visual style is a tribute to classic action games of the 90s, with detailed pixel art graphics and a vibrant color palette. The game is inspired by titles like Mega Man X and Final Fight, seeking to recapture the feeling of speed and precision of action platform games of that era, but with a futuristic update and an engaging narrative. The Game Savior, developed by Starsoft, is a promising adventure and platform title that seeks to redefine the open-world experience. Unlike traditional Metroidvanias, Savior promises a more persistent impact on the world, where the player's actions and the results of battles have lasting effects. The narrative revolves around Sam, a stranger who finds himself in the middle of a cold war between the Chosen and the Fallen, two societies divided by centuries. Sam's mission is to explore the enigmatic island nation of Arcadia, unravel the secrets of its origin, and help its people prosper. Savior's gameplay stands out for its fluid parkour and precision combat. Players will be able to explore a vast medieval world and a futuristic underworld using running, climbing, and diving skills. Combat will be strategic, where each enemy can become a potential friend, encouraging interaction and dialogue beyond fighting. An interesting feature is the ability to transform the environment, rebuilding barriers and outposts, rescuing shopkeepers and artisans to obtain new equipment, and even repairing railway lines and befriending dragons to enable fast travel.
For centuries, our lights have been taken and thrown into the dark. And there, in the depths, together, free from superstition and fear, those lights have grown bright.
Eden's Guardian is a dark fantasy Metroidvania game with pixel art graphics, developed and published by Vorigine Games Studio. The game is set in a medieval and fantasy world devastated by a conflict involving gods and humans, where the player takes on the role of an imprisoned guardian who seeks to unravel the mysteries behind a curse that plagues the land. The crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter was a success, exceeding the funding goal. The game offers a challenging experience, typical of the Metroidvania genre, with a vast and interconnected world to explore. A unique mechanic allows the player to launch their sword or stick it into surfaces and teleport to it, opening new possibilities for combat and exploration. The deep and engaging narrative is gradually unraveled through exploration, with an intriguing story involving gods, humans, and a mysterious curse. Epic battles against bosses with unique abilities and weaknesses are also part of the experience. Tearscape is an action-adventure game with elements of Metroidvania and Souls-like. Its aesthetic is inspired by classic Game Boy Color games, featuring pixel art graphics that evoke a dark and mysterious atmosphere. The game stands out for its non-linear exploration of an interconnected world, full of hidden dungeons to be discovered. Tearscape's gameplay focuses on precise combat against grotesque monsters, requiring strategy and player skill. As the player progresses, they expand their arsenal of weapons and abilities, clearing the way through secret passages and challenging increasingly powerful enemies. The inspiration from games like The Legend of Zelda and Bloodborne is evident both in the exploration structure and in the difficulty of the combat. The gameplay focuses on precise combat and non-linear exploration. Players will take on the role of a hunter who must navigate an interconnected world, full of dungeons and grotesque monsters. Strategic stamina management is crucial, and each attack and dodge will require attention, similar to Souls-like games. In addition, the limited number of healing flasks requires players to carefully plan their recovery moments, adding a layer of challenge and tactics. Fallen Tier: The Ascension is a 2D platform adventure and RPG game in the Metroidvania style, currently in development by Wintercrew and published by CMD Studios and Holysoft Studios. The game stands out for its hand-drawn art, traditional animations, and a rich story, set in a vast and interconnected world. The narrative follows Hira, a mysterious young man who seeks to unravel his forgotten past while facing dangerous creatures and corrupt gods to restore balance to the world. The gameplay combines exploration and fluid combat with traditional RPG elements and modern action mechanics. Players will explore a wide world with 26 interactive biomes, facing more than 150 enemies and bosses. The progression system is based on acquiring skills that open new areas and paths, allowing freedom of exploration. Hira will be able to ally with fated bonds, characters with unique abilities that will help him on his journey. The game also includes a combat customization system with different skill trees and elements to be unlocked. Well, that was the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and see you next time.
The balance of our world rests on your shoulders.
This is no beer.
To what do I owe pleasure?
Well, what are we making?
My professional opinion? Get all the help you can.
We've got your back, Hira.
Ho-ho!